This is my recap and reaction to Sister Wives Season 18, Episode 1, the premiere of the 18th season. Stay tuned until the very end to see what rating I give this episode out of 10 and see if you all agree. So, first of all, can we talk about the intro music? Are we going to war or something? I can't play it, but the intro is literally so bad, it's good. It's that type of thing. So the episode starts, and we're at our favorite place ever, Coyote freaking Pass. Cody is driving down the driveway in his truck to help Janelle with her trailer. She's closing out her trailer for the whole season. And basically they're talking about something like septic tanks and how the trailer didn't help Cody and Janelle's relationship at all. Janelle is still calling Cody honey at this point, I noticed. And of course, this is final confirmation that this season dates back to fall 2021. Sad, but true. I mean, I'm irritated by that, but Janelle did not have her trailer on Coyote Pass in 2022 and 2023. So there it is, guys. Hopefully they fast forward in the future pretty quickly here. So in a confessional, Cody says the family is just strained, apparently. He said it's almost like a civil war. The holidays are right around the corner and the family is not talking. Janelle reflects on a time where one of the boys apparently called Robin and asked Robin if they can have their dad back. I mean, that may have been like a bit overboard, I have to say, but I kind of wish that conversation was filmed. Like, I feel like there are not enough scenes where people actually confront Robin or ask Robin, about their issues. Anyways, so Christine's in her new rental in Utah by now. She has a new set, a new confessional background. And she says, she still feels a bit unsettled. It hasn't been too long since she moved to Utah. There's also interesting B-roll before scenes in this episode, I noticed. There's this clip of just like a dog looking out the window for an uncomfortable amount of time. Am I the only one who noticed that? Like, let me know. Christine is visiting Janelle in her apartment. And later she's meeting Cody at a Mexican restaurant. So Christine says that she still considered Janelle her sister wife. Christine basically shows up and builds Janelle a shelf because I have a feeling that Christine was just always that wife, the one that could build things, and she's still coming through for Janelle. Janelle shows Christine her plans for her house on Coyote Pass, saying that she'll break ground in the spring. And Christine tries to be like positive in the moment, like, oh yeah, in the spring? But in her confessional, she's like, I know they haven't paid off the property. Cut to Cody, who says, we're not building in spring. So, and by the way, she's still not building 2 years later. So this was very optimistic and somewhat delusional. Janelle says that nobody is prioritizing her. I mean, yes, I agree. But in terms of buying a house, Cody was asking her to buy Christine's house at one point. And I feel like that was such a nice house and probably what she should have done. I don't know why she didn't do that, to be honest. Oh, and next scene, this whole segment is just painful. So Mary shows up to Robin's house and they sit outside for some reason. But Mary forgot her coat because she didn't know it was going to be this cold. It's kind of like a transitional between fall and winter. Anyway, she just didn't have her coat. So instead of like welcoming Mary inside where there's heat, Robin just goes to get her coat or something. So I don't know why they're just not filming inside. Anyways, basically Robin is inviting Mary to go to Thanksgiving at her house again. She accepts. Mary says that Cody used to love her turkey, and she did it for years. Now he likes Robin's turkey. And she just starts laughing because of just how bad of an innuendo that sounds like. The turkey metaphor is actually accurate, though, I have to say. So Robin goes on about how she's struggling not to be blue and crying all the time about the situation with the family. Robin says that she's struggling with depression over what's going on. And so she's grilling Mary about how bad things were when she came into the family and what she may have not noticed and what was going on, you know? So Mary says either they were great actors or she had blinders on because they weren't like perfect. They were pretty good, but not perfect. Robin is like, I'm questioning my reality. Did I not know what was happening back then? I don't know. Anyways, then Robin says Mary, Janelle, and I should be giving our teammate a break. Someone needs to pick up that torch because apparently Cody's been trying so hard to keep the family together. Please. And pushing Mary to carry any type of torch for Cody is absolutely bonkers, crazy, like not what a friend would say. A friend would say, run, girl, run. First of all, anyways, let's keep Mary out of the torch thing for Cody at this point. Mary says, and very accurately, that she doesn't, think that Cody would even recognize her support or appreciate it. I agree. Robin then goes on a long-winded tangent that's kind of convoluted about how sometimes Cody changes his tune when things go right or something. And I think this is supposed to motivate Mary to keep trying to fix things, but that's a hard no on that. What do they say? That's a no for me, dog, or something like that. Anyways, Mary says she has Robin's back, but doesn't agree with everything she says and does. Amen to that. So Christine and Cody finally go to a place called Salsa Brava to talk about Truly and the holidays and, that stuff, because Truly is their only minor child, I believe, at this point. They hug, then it cuts to a confessional where Cody says she's shit-talking to the kids. He feels like he wants to never see her again. But they keep it pretty civil for that mood. I mean, they're kind of hi, how are ya? Kind of thing. Anyways, Cody said he had anxiety and depression during the whole pandemic thing when he was sick. And Christine, I think out of nervousness, laughed at that a little bit, which is kind of awkward thing to laugh at. She apologizes for laughing. And, he passive aggressively says, you're mean like that. It's okay. So he says he was in the fetal position crying when he was sick. The fetal position, guys. Robin and Cody both mentioned their depression in this episode, by the way, which is something new. They're opening about their mental health, apparently. And I give this premiere episode a solid 6 out of 10. I mean, I just need a little bit more of the Christine and Cody lunch and a little bit less of the Robin and Mary interaction outside of Robin's house. But I guess they're stretching everything to the next week, I think. But you know what? We'll take it. Season 18, episode 1, done. Bye, guys.
It's just another example of them not wanting to be a family with us. It's been like this from the beginning.
This is my recap and reaction to Sister Wives Season 18, Episode 2. The episode is called Thanks for Nothing. And let's hope that's not what we all think after watching this episode. Episode 2 is straight up all over the place. The lunch from hell continues between Cody and Christine. Peyton spills the tea on how Robin ruined the kids' gift exchange. And Robin is overall irritating me. Anyways, first, the lunch from hell continues at the Mexican restaurant in Flagstaff. Cody's making angry faces and in his confessional says, I don't want to be here with her. Aw, so sweet. Cody's hot and bothered about Christine talking to the kids behind his back. He blames Christine for family drama. And while she says she's simply a sounding board for them to talk about things that are hard. I just feel like the truth is somewhere in the middle. Do I think that Christine has never said anything bad about Cody to the kids? No, I don't. So, do I think most of this is caused by Cody not managing his relationships well? Absolutely. Cody says that he's all venom and vitriol and that he has an anger problem. And I mean, hey, at least he's self aware. Christine tries to get Cody to admit that he hates her and he just does not bite. He doesn't want to give her the satisfaction. Cody says he even wants to go to counseling with Christine, but also he does say that he's had evil thoughts about her, that she's Machiavellian, and that she's responsible for basically demolishing his big picture family. All I kept thinking was about the family vision statement. Where is that now? I have to know. Apparently it was useless. And the sand and all that, should they just dump that out now? Like, what do they do with that? Cody says this is not Robin's fault and points to the fact that going public was more to blame for the family's demise. So Robin is like, I think counseling would be great for Cody. How is he able to keep his head above water? I would do counseling with Christine even. If anything, the fact that they're always so open to counseling, I guess is like a good thing. Christine says that she wants to be friends with Cody, but Cody says there's no way for him to enjoy her company. And then they leave it to saying, thank you, like they're leaving a bad business meeting or something. What a twisted lunch. The highlight for me is that I think I spotted that Christine ate nachos. If you know, you know. So Robin then appears on the screen and she's so confused about the deal breakers between Cody and Christine. She says, maybe it's my perception, but I don't see where either of them did something heinous. Okay, Robin, did you not see that Cody was at your house 99% of the time? You didn't think that that would be a problem for someone. And now it's Robin's Thanksgiving in 2021, filmed basically on a cell phone. Christine is at Mitch and Aspen's house, but they're not filming this year. It's a tale of dueling Thanksgivings. Janelle is at Maddie and Caleb's house in North Carolina. Hunter's there, Savannah's there, and they're making a turkey like a happy family. Janelle says, I kept thinking that I enjoyed myself there. Should I feel bad about that? It was a really great day. It was perfect. Christine admits that their family's been hurting for a long time. She says, we've done our best, but there's stuff accumulating for 12 years, and we're at a breaking point. Cody's mad that Janelle would rather be with Christine, and Robin breaks into tears about her kids feeling rejection over Thanksgiving. She says, my kids had feelings of rejection, heartbreak, and they asked, why don't they care? And they've dealt with that heartbreak before. I told them it's not personal, but they're getting hurt by this. Okay, I just feel like Robin is projecting her rejection. I don't know. And I do believe her that she wasn't welcomed warmly into the family. I just find it hard to believe that this Thanksgiving would be such a big deal for teenagers. And the fact is that having separate holidays is very logical in this situation. It just makes sense with what's going on. It shouldn't be like this big heartbreak surprise. Now we're in Salt Lake City, Utah, and here's Peyton Brown. And he even gets his own confessional this episode. Pretty cool. Peyton comes over to make tapioca pudding with Christine. He says it's comfort food for all the kids. Peyton says that he loves that Christine moved to Salt Lake. When Christine explains that Cody and Robin got the virus and got very sick, Peyton replies, they got sick because their immune systems are terrible. I mean, he's such a breath of fresh air. He then proceeds to spill the tea about a heated text battle royale. He says that first Logan, the oldest sibling, texted all the kids that he wanted to do a sibling gift exchange, and that for some unknown reason, Robin got involved in the exchange and said, let's do a video chat. And it got complicated for all the 18 kids to find a time to do a video chat. So she got some pushback on that and then said, like, fine, like, I'm out. Apparently, along the conversation, Robin said something like, my kids don't even remember who their siblings are. And then Hunter said, one video chat is not going to help that. Boom. So then this turned into a text squabble between Robin's kids and the rest of the kids. Gwendolyn tried to lighten it all up, but it all just went awry. And apparently what was expressed there may not be any coming back from that. They didn't really elaborate. Robin then pops on the screen again in her confessional and she's crying again. And she says, it's been like this from the beginning. We don't understand. We're the outsiders. We're on the other side. We don't know what to do. I mean, probably don't barge into a text conversation between siblings when they're trying to bond. If they were outsiders, they wouldn't have been included in the text chain. Jeez. Okay, so yeah, that would have irritated me too. Christine says she doesn't think Robin ever lived plural marriage. And meanwhile, now on a lighter note, Aurora is getting her ears pierced in Flagstaff. This is like the light story of the episode. Apparently, we learn that Cody was against piercings. He thought it was against the gospel. So Christine had piercings, 2 in each ears, and gave them up. Janelle had taken hers out, and Mary never had any piercings. Robin had earrings and said, I will take my earrings off if you're jolly from Thanksgiving to New Year's. And eventually, probably helped a little bit by the fact that Robin had earrings, eventually they all put their earrings back. Aurora apparently picked Cody to go with her to get her ears pierced. And Cody tells everyone, announces it on television, I love how Aurora respects me as the leader of our home. And it just kind of seems like a passive-aggressive dig to the other kids who disagree with him and push back on things. Anyways, Christine is visiting Janelle now, and she says that she's taking it day by day and that she wants respect. The drama was unearthed, from the past for the kids about favoritism and time and energy poured into different households. Like, open wounds are just like, coming undone or whatever. She says, my children remember a lot of hurt. Maybe there were always cracks. So there's some insight on the past. Robin says that some people were welcoming and a lot weren't when she entered the family. The only people who welcomed me, she says, were Mary and Cody. And basically, last time Christine assembled Janelle's shelf in episode 1, you'll remember. This time she's assembling her Christmas tree. And about Cody, Janelle says, I don't see how this is worth the work. So it's on its way out already. I mean, I didn't know that things were this bad in 2021. I'd like to go back to my updates from 2021 and see what I picked up on. Honestly, I should do that. So she says now that the virus is less of an excuse to stay apart. Now, apparently, there's a new excuse that popped up, and it's that they need to solve all the drama before they get together. So there you have it, a new excuse. I mean, there's a lot going on. And then the preview shows the epic fight between Janelle and Cody next to the Christmas tree. I think that's probably going to take place next week or part of it. I don't know. But let's stay tuned for episode 3. All right, guys, have a great night. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.
Listening.
You're not listening to me.
And I'm not going to.
Okay, so we're done.
Goodbye.
You.
This is my recap and reaction to Sister Wives Season 18, Episode 3. In this episode, Janelle and Cody have their huge fight, and Robin and Cody make me mad again. And we're in Oklahoma, and I have no idea why initially. Cody is apparently visiting his younger brother here and 2 of his friends and filming it on his phone. We learn that Cody has 5 sisters and that there were 5 boys, including him. Nathan, who I think is Mary's brother-in-law, apparently also has a wife that's leaving him. So they're bonding a little bit extra. Let's see what these guys have to tell Cody. Cody says that he was so shocked when his stuff was all packed up in Christine's garage. He says, anger is a sword that stabs indiscriminately. He acknowledges that his anger has been a problem and that it's affecting his relationships with Janelle and Robin. He's acknowledging it. I'm giving him credit for that, and I think that's great. But this is not the energy he brought later in the episode with Janelle, so he's just all over the place. Robin says that, it's like the Cody coaster. Woo, the Cody coaster. His friends seem to have had like a bad view on marriage. One of them says, who wants to roll the dice? It's 50-50. And one of the friends says a couple he knows split because being together during COVID, they couldn't take each other. So there you have it. Cody says polygamy is a gift because it dilutes personality. And the wife can get a break from the husband too. Excuse me, dilutes personality? I just can't wrap my mind around why he would say that. Is a full personality a problem or too much to handle or something? What's wrong with a full personality? Mary says she wants to vomit. She says maybe you should figure out how you can be together and not use people as an escape. Facts, Mary, facts. Cody says Christine asked for things that wives in polygamy just don't get. He doesn't get into it, but I think it was probably something to do with help with the kids, because I'm sure Christine was drowning taking care of like 14 kids and cooking for like 20 people all those years. It must have been time and help. So speaking of anger stabbing indiscriminately, it's about to go down between Janelle and Cody. Janelle is having Cody over to talk about the holidays, and Cody comes in and he's like, hey, it's winter out there. I mean, I can already feel the tension and I'm not even there, so maybe they just shouldn't talk today. Maybe Cody should just turn around and go home. But no, he says, brr, drinking my water hot these days because there's no other way to stay warm. I mean, the small talk I could do without, not exactly TV gold. He says, what you doing? She says, work a little bit. I mean, she's filming Cody. She's literally in front of cameras as we speak. Like, what do you mean? What are you doing? He says, you guys have a tiny Christmas tree. And she says, I'll bring it to the Airbnb. I mean, the Airbnb her and Christina are renting. They talk a little bit about the Airbnb and how Hunter's getting in soon. Cody says, this whole house Airbnb thing is like a knife in my heart. And this Christmas tree is the degradation of our family. Cody just hates this little poor tree in Janelle's apartment. And that, by the way, Christine assembled last episode, if you remember. Conversation turns to the boys, and things always escalate once they start to bring the boys in. As usual, Janelle keeps saying, you keep flipping things on me. She says, you call them, Cody. You're the parent too. And he's like, all I want to do is talk to them. Something does not make sense here. Has he called them? Has he made attempts? It's unclear because Gabriel was crying because Cody didn't call him on his birthday. He also says the phone goes both ways. And later when Mary asks if he tried to reach out to the boys, he says yes. But somehow I call BS on that. Either way, Cody has decided this is all Janelle's fault. And this is especially triggering because some men actually do blame women for no reason and make them the scapegoat in the relationship. So anyone in a toxic relationship, I'm sorry, you have to witness this. Cody says, you didn't support the rules, Janelle. You knew the rules. You undermined them. Like, are we at school? Anyways, Janelle says, I'm tired of being gaslit. And Cody says, you gaslight me. So a lot of pointing to each other, blame game, Janelle just yells, you act like this is not your fault. So it's all about whose fault it is. Janelle says there's a new rule that the boys have to mea culpa. What have I done? You and Robin are the patrons of honesty and perfection. You were gone for 4 or 5 months. Janelle is freaking fuming at this point. I've never seen her like this ever. Like, she just does not like to be blamed for things, especially when they're really not her fault. Cody breaks the fourth wall and says, "Tell the world and then go hang out with your buddy Christine. I was carrying this family on my shoulders." And he accuses Janelle of being jealous of Robin. Then he switches to, "Okay, everybody thinks I'm the bad guy. I don't expect to see you for you to back me up here. It's too late." And then, there's swearing. He slams the door. Janelle yells, "F you." And then she asks for the cameras to go down, but then she does come back and films on her phone after. And she seems like she's been crying. And she says that it felt like they're done in that moment. It was just like a feeling when he was there. And weirdly enough, I could kind of feel that, like, I don't know, through the screen. She says that after the fight, she thought to herself, "I have nothing financially. I'm tied up in the property. I'm a smart woman, but I trusted this family structure, and I'm 50 and I have nothing." And I just felt really bad for Janelle in that moment when she said that, because her finances and being logical and smart, and that's like her thing. And I feel like she probably felt like she kind of failed herself there. On a lighter note, then Christine is teaching Garrison how to make the Christmas rolls with his girlfriend. And it's kind of cute, but Christine doesn't really make a big appearance. This is not like a Christine episode at all, basically. So then what happens is that Cody meets Mary and Robin outside. I think they're outside Mary's house. And Mary says, "Wow, you guys seem like womp womp womp." And I thought that was funny. He tells them that him and Janelle yelled at each other, and Robin acts surprised, like, really, as if he didn't confide in her already. She already knows. I would bet on that. She was probably waiting in the car outside while they were having the fight or something. I mean, what a farce. She knew. Cody says Janelle's colluding with the boys. Colluding. And Mary's not fully buying it. And I applaud her for that. He says Janelle might not be colluding, but Cody has blinders on at this point. Mary feels like a third wheel, but she gets to host Christmas Eve. She's been thrown a bone and doesn't know she should invite Janelle. I think they gave Mary Christmas Eve so that Robin wouldn't have the blame on her for not inviting Christine and Janelle. Honestly, that's my opinion. Mary says, "I don't know what to do. Do I invite them?" And Robin says, "That sounds scary," which is basically a cue for Mary to not invite them. Like, if your best friend or someone you're close to says, like, "That sounds scary," to invite them, you're probably going to not invite them. Robin's not exactly trying to get the family together here. I felt like she was trying to get Mary to not invite them. You say you want to be in the rocking chairs, Robin, but in difficult moments, you're blocking people from being invited to Christmas Eve. Robin. Anyways, Cody says, "I'd rather be around people who want to be around me. I just want to run away from everybody who have been so uncool about what I was trying to do to protect the family." Geez, if he talks about the rules one more time, I mean, let this be water under the bridge. Like, we need to move on from the rules. We need to move on. There's a lot of gaslighting, blaming. There's not good communication, finger pointing, like lots of that, and weird manipulation. So this is just toxic at this point. What did you guys think of the episode? Let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll be back with more Sister Wives content. And now I need like 4 days to recover emotionally from that episode. Bye, guys.
I'm stuck. Financially, I have nothing. Christine had the house. I have nothing. My name is on property with everybody else. probably nobody will cooperate now and play ball. FF.
This is my recap and reaction to Sister Wives Season 18, Episode 4. The episode is called A Deal with the Devil. In this episode, Cody says he feels like running away, Janelle cries about her finances, and Mary says Cody regrets marrying her. It's the most depressing Christmas ever. It's raining and gloomy in Flagstaff, and it's the aftermath of the shut the F up fight between Janelle and Cody from last week. Janelle thinks Cody's trying to get rid of her. She's super depressed about it and cries to the camera about how she's stuck financially and that she has nothing. She says, I am 50 and I can't do my own thing. She's tied up with the family for Coyote Pass and she doesn't think they'll play ball. Cody says that he's mad as hell and that Janelle's the mean one. Oh yeah, Janelle's the mean one. I'll just say it. The fact that Janelle has nothing financially, yet is the one who worked from 6 a.m. to God knows when for years when they were in Utah, and Robin, who has never worked, is sitting pretty in her $1 million home with her freaking Charles Dickens Christmas houses, is beyond a travesty. They better give Janelle what she's owed. That was such an irritating... I can't believe it. A real moment for Janelle, although a bit too zoomed in, but I really felt her emotions in that scene. Now we're at Robin's house for Christmas Eve. Mary is saying that everything's kind of weird, and I agree. She brought her lasagna. Robin has her Dickens Christmas set because Cody loves Charles Dickens. And Janelle puts Cody's gifts in storage because he's probably not even going to drop by. Since when does having a fight mean ditching your whole family and kids at Christmas? I do not get it. Robin is trying to repress the romantic energy between her and Cody for the sake of Mary, who says she actually feels like the other woman, despite being married to Cody first, and remember, bringing in Robin herself into the family. Remember the story goes that Mary suggested that Cody dance with Robin at like some dance or something. Also, where is Leon? Did Leon not come home for Christmas? I don't get that either. Christine's happy not to be with everybody. She says she wants a chill and easy Christmas. Janelle is hosting her kids in a vacation rental, and Gabriel's there, so I love that. Gabriel says it's been hard. They've been keeping the door open, and some haven't. Garrison says they've reached out. The boys and Cody have two very different stories here. They keep saying they reached out, and Cody says he reached out and only got rejection. So, two very distinct tales. Cody says, Merry Christmas! And Robin's kids come down. It's Christmas Day. He got them all electric scooters, and he's hoping that they'll have fun with them on Coyote Pass. Okay. Robin thinks he's trying to compensate for the fact the family's not here. But wait, something is causing a stir online about this scene, and it's that Ari, who is at this point, I think like 7 or 8, I don't know, appears to still have something in her mouth, a pacifier. So how, I don't know. I refrained judgment when she was like 4 and people were making a big deal about this. I still thought it was too old. I mean, I'm not looking to mom shame at all here. Everyone's doing their own thing. But I have never seen or heard of a 7-year-old who still has a pacifier. Never seen it. Never seen it. So let me know in the comments if this is something that you've seen before. Janelle's in a vacation rental with her boys and Savannah. There is this sadness that Cody's not showing up. And Janelle actually told the kids that they had a fight and that things were not well. And the kids were not surprised. Savannah says that Christmas was quiet but kind of nice, and Gabriel actually enjoyed it more than he thought. Cuts to Cody that says that Janelle is out of sight, out of mind, and that my loyal wife wants something special, so I'm blocking everything else. Of course, emphasis on loyal. Cody just does not give a you-know-what anymore. The gloves are off. Like, that was such shade. Since when is Janelle not loyal? I don't know. Anyways, they're having crepes, and there's this way too long segment about what Cody puts in his crepe. He calls it a French burrito, and it's disgusting. Like, did not need this fluff. Nathan and Cody now go on a drive with no destination. They're just driving around, and trust me, it kind of gets dark. Nathan says that his wife and Mary are sisters. Actually, we knew this. He's had 2 wives. The second wife actually ended up leaving him. So Cody and Nathan are bonding over this. Cody wonders if he can adjust to having a smaller family. He says, "Can I be monogamous?" And I'm thinking to myself, like, you still have a big family no matter what happens in your marriage. Like, you have all these kids. It's not like you have a smaller family. So I don't know really what he means here. He says that he courted Robin and Mary, but he had requirements for Janelle and Christine because they asked to be part of the family. "There will be other wives and you will be committed to me," were the requirements, I guess. And bam, during the episode, Christine came in hot and posted this to her Instagram. It said, "It's really nice to be with someone who doesn't have any special requirements before we get married. I love being loved for who I am." Bam, direct shade right at Cody. Now it gets even darker, believe it or not, with Cody literally saying something he probably should have told his therapist, not national television, but he wonders what happened to him when he feels relief when a woman is leaving him. He says he just wants to be a DICK for a little bit, and he has this big urge to be mean, and he's fighting it. He doesn't like who he is anymore and says, "I should just be the devil she thinks I am now." He says that he's thought about running away, changing his name, and starting over, but he says that his 2 younger kids love him back, and that's what's stopping him. The fact that he says only those 2 younger ones loving him back are stopping him is scary, honestly, because he has so many other family members. Like, what about them? Mary says, "I think he regrets marrying me and Christine. Not sure about Janelle." I mean, that is such a sad thing to say. I wonder if he told her that or something. Like, why would she just blurt that out, you know? Maybe, I guess it's her opinion. Christine and Janelle have their kids together in a vacation rental. There's like this moment where they're throwing snow at each other. Gabriel says, "We have a whole relationship with Christine and her kids." Gabe feels like Cody and Robin didn't make enough of an effort. He feels neglected. And Robin flips it and says, while crying, "Janelle's boys did not want to be around us. And that's heartbreaking. If I thought they were open to it, I would have pushed." Why not push anyway? Because that's just the right thing to do. McKelty, Truly, and Isabel actually ended up going over to Cody and Robin's, and McKelty apparently has made it clear that she's neutral, she's the bridge, so she probably brought her siblings over for a visit. I think they actually ended up sleeping over, but at least they did get some time with Cody. I don't know about Savannah. Like, where's Savannah? She was a minor, and she didn't get her time with Cody. So that was weird. But anyways, that is my recap for season 18, episode 5 of Sister Wives. We're getting dark here. It's gloomy. There's a lot of controversy here, a lot to talk about. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll be back with more recaps and reactions. Bye, guys. This is my recap and reaction to Sister Wives season 18, episode 5. In this episode, Robin still can't admit that Cody spent the most time at her house. But more on that later. The episode starts with Janelle in her apartment post the big fight with Cody, and Christine is helping Janelle once again. This time she's bringing a huge beanbag with her that can't even fit through the door, but Janelle just loves this beanbag so much. Christine is concerned about Janelle's living situation, the tiny apartment and everything. I mean, it is small, and it hints that her neighbor in Utah is moving, and maybe she should move to Utah too. Janelle is just not there yet, though. She says it takes a long time in plural marriage to get a release. What the heck is a release, and how long does it take to get one? I think she means like a real break off of her relationship. Savannah is right there during the whole conversation because, let's face it, the apartment is so small, you can't really have secrets anyway. And Savannah confirms that Cody hasn't seen her or talked to her since the beginning of December for her birthday, and it's now mid-January. Unclear why Savannah was completely snubbed by Cody for Christmas, why she didn't get an invite to see Cody, she didn't get a present from Cody. And Savannah says that she was sad at first, but now she's mad. Looks like Savannah didn't get a scooter, guys. And Christine is so pissed about the whole thing, and I don't blame her. Cody says that Christine and Janelle banded together, and he doesn't have the emotional fortitude anymore, and that the phone goes both ways. He said, I can reach out to Savannah eventually. It'll happen. Okay, Cody, call Savannah. I mean, that's so cruel. Her watching everyone get those scooters and everything. She didn't get anything, not even a phone call. It's terrible. Robin is driving up her van now, and she's coming over to Mary's house. They're still meeting outside for some reason, and Robin says that Christmas was crazy. She says Isabel, McKelty, and Truly came over. Poor Mary didn't even know, so she's hurt by that. And Robin, as usual, just releases herself from feeling bad about telling Mary by saying she had no control, absolutely no control over what was happening. Whatever. Robin still doesn't understand why Christine left still. It's so annoying. She's still grasping at the fact that there was, quote unquote, no real deal breaker. I'm immediately annoyed by this conversation, honestly. Janelle says that when they went public, it never really settled the same way as before, and they kept trying and trying, but it just always felt different. She says that, she's going to start fresh with Cody after the separation. She wants it to feel more like a couple. And we all know watching this that Cody treating Janelle like a real husband should ever again is a pipe dream at best. So now I'm thinking, yeah, probably not going to work. Cody denies that he's been at Robin's more before COVID. He says that he had a schedule and everything was intact. The next part of the conversation is actually really irritating to watch because it kind of seems like they're trying to make Christine seem like she did get great treatment from Cody and that she's crazy for thinking she didn't. Mary says that she recalls one time when Christine got tons of presents for Christmas from Cody, but he had gotten Mary anything. How rude is that? Why share this story though? Like, why are they making it seem like Christine didn't have a good reason to leave? Mary says that she has a secret. She says before Robin was in the picture, her relationship with Cody was a roller coaster, and he kept telling her, I'm with you all the time. I see you more than all the other wives. So she kept track of when he was with her, and it was less than 1/3, so she was even more upset. And Robin says, oh, you know what? I have that same secret, but she only tracked how often Cody was with her for a 1-month period that everyone admits he was at Christine's more. Pretty selective time period to track. Very convenient for this whole narrative, I'd say. What about the other times? What about the other times? Cody says that comparison is the death of joy. Then there's a long-winded clip showing Robin and Cody tried to explain that in Vegas, he was actually in an office at Robin's house or in her garage, which means he wasn't really at Robin's house all the time. Makes no sense. Robin even says, "My kids struggled like crazy," saying Cody wasn't around. Christine says that he'd come to her house in the evening for her, and Robin knew it was going on. And she says, "I'm not going to trust someone who wants a family, but is okay with Cody being only at their house." Robin says that, she tried so hard with Christine and says that her and Christine had potential to be really close, and she didn't understand why they couldn't be. And she's heartbroken by it, and she's crying, kind of putting the blame on Christine a little bit. So this is like a freaking smear campaign against Christine, this whole conversation, and I'm irritated by it so much. Christine says that the therapy sessions in Vegas, she says that Robin would deny that Cody was at her house the most, and Christine would have rejected her friendship anyway because, how can you trust someone that just lies to your face like that? And Robin's still doing it, and it is so irritating. I understand how Christine feels. Janelle says that Cody always implied that she needs to be a better sister wife to Robin, and Janelle thought that, if this has to happen, it's really not going to work. She recalls a time when basically she had called Robin before they bought their house to kind of let her know that she thought it would be a disaster for their family finances. Robin had clearly told Cody about the conversation, and he held that against her later on. Robin starts to cry that Christmas was a cheap version of what the family used to be. She said, she needs a reason why my family got blown up to smithereens. And okay, so next scene, they're actually planning Christine's 50th birthday party and who should be invited. You can probably guess who's not invited at this point: Mary, Robin, and Cody, because they just keep doing shady things like in this episode. Mary, meanwhile, is making big changes. She's going to move her clothing business to southern Utah, and she's nervous to tell Robin about it because, Robin's going to think that she's leaving the family too. So she only told her BFF Jen. Mary says Cody's not going to give a rat's ass. And Robin has been begging Mary to stay for so long. I think this is probably the scene where Robin loses it. So Mary plans to spend more concentrated time at the B&B. She doesn't really say that she's never going to be in Flagstaff or anything like that. She says she's not leaving the family and she's not leaving Cody. But the whole thing is just very sad. Mary says that she's never had a conversation with Cody about their relationship and how, it can probably never recover, but she's heard him say things, basically probably in confessionals, because he does say that in confessionals at every opportunity. I'm just happy Mary's finally leaving. She's not fully admitting to leaving, really. She's just saying she's moving her business. But this is a clear step in the right direction. Let me know what you thought of the episode, Sister Wives Season 18, Episode 5, in the comments. Bye, guys! This is my recap and reaction to Sister Wives Season 18, Episode 6. In this episode, Cody and Janelle have a really weird meetup. Mary plans her escape from Flagstaff, and Cody calls himself hot. Yes, really. The episode begins, and they're still flashing back, for God's sakes, to the big fight between Janelle and Cody. The flashbacks happen twice, at the beginning of the episode and in the middle. How many times do we need to see this? It's etched in my mind at this point. It's winter, and Christine is having a Valentine's Day paint night with her kids, which means it's February 2022. We're moving up in the timeline a little bit. They're painting a tree with leaves to it. It's cute, and Christine is still such a mama bear organizing craft activities for her kids after all these years. Christine talks about how awkward Valentine's Day is for polygamous families, and they kind of never knew what to do with it. Robin says it's tricky, and holy crap, Valentine's Day this year is complicated and horrible. And Mary says, I'm not doing a damn thing. You have to have a Valentine to celebrate. Aw, like, that's so sad for Mary. She probably, she wishes she probably would be on a good track with Cody. I just remember that Cody used to come in with like 4 bouquets of flowers historically in other seasons, and they all very carefully on Valentine's Day would act like not too lovey-dovey when they accepted the flowers, except Robin. She would do the whole thing. She would kiss him, etc. Christine announces that she's hired a matchmaker. She wants a bald, tattooed man, basically the anti-Cody. The matchmaker said that she should not say she has 6 kids right away, just that she has some kids. But I mean, any guy will Google her before the date, so I'm pretty sure they would know anyway. Now, Janelle looks super anxious. She's doing the close-up, selfie video from her phone again. And it's time for her to meet with Cody for the first time since their big fight. Janelle shows up to the restaurant and says that she's not pining or missing Cody right now in her confessional. Cody asks for a hug when he comes in, and they kind of awkwardly hug, and he says, "So, how are you?" She says, "Good." He says, "Are you good?" He probably expects her to have been heartbroken for 6 weeks and just been pining for him all this time, but that's not the case. Cody quickly blames his behavior on the divorce, how it's impacting his relationships, and he realizes that he's not a safe place for Janelle right now. He's transmuting his pain into anger, he says. Janelle's just not buying it at all. It gets awful quiet, there's awkward silences, and Janelle just gets to the main message, which is that she wants to stay separated for now. This is clearly kind of what she came here to say, and Cody had a different idea. I think, honestly, Cody thought they were going to reconcile at this sit down, but fact of the matter is, the way Cody can fix it to make it better, it has to do with the boys. He's just not getting that, and it's almost like they're speaking different languages, so it's kind of an uncomfortable meetup. He says, "I don't think Janelle's in love with me. She thinks I'm hot with my pecs and whatever." The minute he said I'm hot, I just stopped even noticing what he was talking about. Ew, just ew. I've literally never glanced at Cody's pecs, for the record. I mean, have you guys? Does he have good pecs? What is he talking about? Robin says she didn't want an apology from the boys, and she doesn't know why Cody's asking for an apology. He keeps using the word transmute over and over, maybe to sound sophisticated. I don't know. I think I want to transmute out of this episode at this point because I don't know what's going on. Janelle asks Cody straight up if he still wants plural marriage. She says, "Sometimes I can't tell." And I feel like he keeps dodging the question. Janelle says, "I'm not going to be with him if he doesn't want to be a father to my kids because of a disagreement." Facts. What type of parent writes off his kids over a disagreement, no matter what age, right? I don't get this whole, I care about them when they're small, but when they're big, I don't care anymore. What? I don't understand that. Cody says that he needs to figure out plural monogamy now, a husband with 2 families that don't interact, because Janelle has no interest in interacting with Robin. Cody thinks that Janelle wanting to separate for a bit is a punishment way beyond the crime. The crime is not being a good parent to her kids, so the crime is pretty big here. I mean, if we're saying it how it is. Janelle brings up that she doesn't have an estate, and Cody says that Janelle has the same assets as him. Is that really true, though? I feel like it's not. Cody says this sounds like it's about money for Janelle. He's not getting it. She's just trying to say she doesn't feel safe with her financial situation. It doesn't feel like it's fair. And Cody says something like, our house is the family's house. I mean, no, that's not. I feel like that's probably not true. Janelle's name is not on the house, right? Like, unless I'm wrong. Cody has $1 million house that he owns, and I'm pretty sure Janelle is not on that. So, how do they have the same assets? Make it make sense. Cody talks about how in Vegas, things were great between him and Janelle. Janelle says yes, but that doesn't change what happened recently. And Cody says that they had a renaissance in Vegas, a renaissance to their relationship. Maybe they should have stayed in Vegas then, just a thought. I mean, how did Flagstaff help them at all in any way? I don't know. Mary's at her B&B in this episode. A guest had made a pillow with a picture of Mary and her mom on it, which is cute. Jen, Mary's best friend, is there, and she appears on a lot of the episode. Mary talks to her about her plans to move her clothing business to the B&B, but she's scared to tell Robin because she thinks basically Robin's the only one that's actually going to care. I think this is probably what leads to Robin's breakdown that we saw in the teaser way back. So Mary's still holding on hope with Cody, we learn, and that's really the only thing that's keeping her in Flagstaff. But I think she's going to realize, there is no hope, so she's just going to hopefully just do her thing. Jen's happy about it. Mary's happy about it. The carriage house is where the clothes are going to, the clothing business clothes. They're both wearing super ripped up jeans. Apparently that was in 2022. Maybe I blocked all the 2020s out of my mind. I don't know. But Mary's just overwhelmed with all of it. But I'm happy that she's moving away from whatever mess is in Flagstaff. I mean, Cody no longer deserves her energy, in my opinion. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode and my recap and reaction to Sister Wives season 18, episode 6. Stay tuned for more updates and news from moi. Bye, guys.
It's to string people along. I'm frustrated. He strung Mary along for years and years and years. And then he tried to string me along. And now he's stringing Janelle along. It's exhausting.
This is my recap and reaction to Sister Wives season 18, episode 7. The episode is called He Said, She Said. In this episode, 2 conversations are happening at the same time. Janelle and Christine at the restaurant with the red wall, and Mary and Robin at Mary's house. Both conversations are absolutely boring, and I'm going to call this episode a filler episode, but I mean, it has some fun bits within it. So Christine and Janelle are going to lunch. Things are settled now after the big fight, and Janelle is finally ready to confide with Christine about how just terrible her marriage to Cody is. Meanwhile, Mary is super nervous for some reason to tell Robin to come over. And yes, they're finally sitting inside, and she's going to share the fact that she's moving her clothing business to Utah, and Robin probably won't be happy. So Mary's super nervous. But honestly, who cares at this point? Who cares? So here we go. Robin says, "Don't leave me." And Mary's concerned about how this is going to look like, her just moving her clothing business away. Is this going to look like I'm leaving Cody? But all fans know from watching Cody's confessionals that Mary is getting played, so she should be running for the hills anyway. Mary says, "I have an update on my life. Since Mom passed, it's been a lot of work going back and forth to Utah. She says, I'm going to be moving out and moving the business up there. Downsizing in Flagstaff, whatever that means. I don't know if she actually, to this day, has a rental or something in Flagstaff, or if she's just now fully in Utah. Robin is double checking, is this still your home? and she's just really wanting Mary to still want to be in Flagstaff. Mary says yes, but she's just gonna spend longer stretches of time in Utah, you know? So Robin just confides that she is now feeling very unsteady. Cody is different, everything is different, and she says that really the most steady thing is her relationship with Mary, although Mary said that Robin doesn't even call or text her much. So, Mary wants to be around people who want to be around her, and who could blame her? Robin is like, let's not give up, okay? Robin says, you know what, Robin, just call Mary once in a while then if you want her to stay. Like, what are you talking about? Back to Janelle and Christine now at the Red Restaurant. Janelle says that she recently saw Nancy, their old therapist. Do you guys remember Nancy? I mean, nothing Nancy did worked. Let's just say that she was Christine and Cody's counselor, failed marriage there. She was Mary and Cody's counselor, failed marriage there. Every relationship Nancy counseled for the Browns fell apart. So, I mean, the track record is bad here, but Janelle saw Nancy anyway. And Janelle says, what's happened is I'm growing and I need something different. I don't want to be married anymore. So she's kind of like in between two worlds of, wanting to not be married to Cody anymore, but I think part of her still likes him, so it's weird. So next, the kids are, well, I should say Cody and Robin's kids are going to Coyote Pass to use the mini bikes they got for Christmas that Cody did not get the other kids. Of course, he only got them for for Robin's children. Aurora's on a four-wheeler. They're riding around the deer pond where there's no water anymore, so it's not even actually a pond anymore. So it is what it is. They're having fun over there. It's like a little filler clip there. And Christine is frustrated because Cody's stringing people along. Janelle says, I still have affection for Cody, but I need to grow. But Christine really thinks that he's stringing Mary along, he's stringed her along, and now he's stringing Janelle along. Mary says that it's easier for her to be at the B&B, and she's stressed out about everything. She just doesn't want it to look like she's leaving for some reason. So Mary says that she cares so much and wants it to work out with Cody, and this is something that he has committed to as well. And Cody said, he has not talked to Janelle in 6 weeks, and he's wanting to get back together with Janelle. So I'm not really understanding why, if you wanted to get back together with someone, you wouldn't talk to them for 6 weeks. So why would you do that? Make it make sense. Why has he not talked to Janelle in 6 weeks? Janelle says that, she feels fine with her decision. They have a covenant, though, that their marriage is beyond death even. So, I don't know what's going to happen with that, but she doesn't want to be married anymore. Christine doesn't think that Janelle's done yet with Cody. They talk about how Cody's not the same person anymore, how he used to be more courageous. Janelle says he used to be bold, dynamic, and now he's advocating for patriarchy. Like, what the heck is happening? Mary says this is not the happy-go-lucky Cody Brown that I used to know. He's just not who I married. And I think that happens to a lot of couples. The guy completely changes, it's a whole thing. And Cody says, you know what? We've all changed, not just him. Yeah, but I mean, even his eye color changed. I agree, though, that this is not the Cody Brown from season 1. Who is this person, even? We don't know. Mary says she's not buying that he's so sad about the family going downhill, because then why is he not doing something about it then? Robin says Cody's gonna do what Cody's gonna do. I mean, why is he not reaching out to Janelle? Mary doesn't understand why people aren't trying in general. And Robin's whole he's gonna do what he's gonna do thing is a constant excuse. Robin says that the story that she turned Cody against the wives is bogus and they have to stop talking about her. And Mary in this episode is kind of sticking up for Christine. By the way, she says that she thinks Christine had complaints, of course, but that's kind of part of being a family. And Cody says that, Christine just wasn't a good fit. Okay, Cody, whatever. She raised all your kids, but she wasn't a good fit. Okay. So Janelle says things are going to change, but her relationship with Christine will never change. That's probably the most solid relationship in the whole family. Mary says that Robin should be around when she tells Cody about the clothes because, Robin can translate to Cody because Robin speaks Cody's language or whatever. I mean, whatever. She says there's no question, Robin, he's done with me. And Robin says, you know what? He still talks about them all going out on the property. And Robin is kind of feeding her hope here, which I think is awful. But, it is the dynamic that it is. But Robin seems to be also stringing Mary along in this scene. And they cut immediately to a confessional where Cody reiterates that the relationship with Mary is not a fit for him. And Robin says that she's angry and depressed about monogamy. She did not choose this, and she's having a crisis of her own. So, yes, so the tale of two conversations. Let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments. I mean, it was a little boring, I have to say. But, we learned a little bit about how much more manipulative Robin is towards Mary. All right, guys, let me know what your thoughts are on Sister Wives Season 18, Episode 7. And I'll be back later. Bye, guys.
Why are you so weird?
I'm not weird.
I'm trying to get Mary to tell Cody that her moving her business up there does not mean she's not still committed.
Hi guys, this is my recap and reaction to Sister Wives Season 18, Episode 8, called The Writing on the Wall. The episode starts and Cody and Robin get to Mary's house, and Cody has to walk back to the car and says, "My hair looks kind of crazy. I better get my glasses to hold it." I don't know why this was necessary. And it's kind of weird because they don't often show them arriving to someone's home, walking in, but they totally did in this scene. And we know this is the big scene of the episode. Mary is still very much in denial that her relationship with Cody is donezo, and she's about to basically kind of embarrass herself here a little bit. She says she doesn't have a lot of hope for his reaction, but it would be pretty cool if this was a slap in the face realization. Wishful thinking at best, Mary. Cody has hope for Janelle, but Mary, not so much. Mary has this sign in the kitchen that immediately caught my attention. Do you guys see it? It says, "If we have complete control over our family somewhere down the line, we have gone terribly wrong," which is interesting. Mary asks if everything's going okay, and Cody says, "Everything's good. Everything's going good." Even Robin had to make a face to show that is the opposite of the truth. Cody goes on about how he feels like he can't show his love for Robin because this is not a safe space for us. So Mary nervously starts to tell them she's downsizing in Flagstaff and that she's moving her clothing business to Utah. And I just can't help but notice how much Robin and Cody are just looking at each other in this scene the whole time. I kind of find it hard to believe that they didn't plan their reaction here or something, or discuss this before. Cody's reaction is, "Cool, that's good, right? Unless it's because you have to." Sure enough, he does not give a flying you-know-what. Robin is crying in her confessional because she thinks, he should give her hope to hold on to, even though there's no hope at all, at all. And Mary then decides to call out something she sees right in front of her, and that is that Cody is wearing a new huge ring where his Claddagh wedding ring used to be. Nobody wants to explain what this new ring is and how it got there. It's highly sus. and it's just not something they want to talk about on camera for some reason. Cody almost makes fun of Mary for bringing this up, but any woman would call this out. There's another ring where his wedding ring used to be. Like, what gives? Next scene is with Christine. She's visiting Garrison's new house that he bought himself, which is super exciting. And Janelle says that there's discussion about Gabe and Gwendolyn actually moving in as roommates. Christine says she's kind of reticent about Gwen moving in because they have very different political views and it sounds just problematic. Gwendolyn made a joke about needing a closet because she came out, and Christine just laughs so hard, and I can't tell if it's a nervous laugh or not. We finally do learn officially on the show that Gwen came out as bisexual, and we all know that she's married now, and I don't even think she ever moved in there, but I'm not entirely sure. Gabe says that the family just feels like everyone's abandoned ship in different lifeboats, and it's a good analogy, this one. This is Gabe's first confessional of the season, I believe, and he obviously got a haircut and looks good. Garrison quickly starts to declare that he's going to send them leases, and Janelle and Christine are co-signers. And so if they all get into a fight, they're still bound to pay rent. And Christine says it's about when they fight, not if. So she's not buying into this whole thing, and I doubt she ended up co-signing. Garrison's just out here trying to make some extra income in this economy, right? And the house is cute. It's a big accomplishment for him. Now we're back in Mary's house for this scene that will not end. And Cody's finally catching on that he's supposed to say, "Mary, stay here." And Cody brings up this random story about clothing racks, and Robin uses it to say, "See, people don't just remember old stories like that. There could be something." And she brings up scheduling time to see each other in Flagstaff, and Cody says, "Yeah," in the most unenthusiastic way ever possible. This is just cringy and embarrassing at this point. Robin says that Cody is not helping her show Mary that there's hope, and some days she feels like that's a deal breaker. This is the first time that Robin's kind of said anything is a deal breaker or that there could be problems with her and Cody. Christine now is making another play to have Janelle move next to her in Utah. She says, "Why not move on?" And Janelle says, "Well, I'd like to be close to Maddie and the babies." And she proposes, "Why don't we buy houses all over the country and buy them together?" Christine seems like she's in. I don't think they ended up doing that. And I also am not sure Gwen moved in, so this is all probably just talk. They start talking about Thanksgiving, and Garrison immediately says where Christine's having Thanksgiving and is where he wants to be. So there's still this huge bond with Christine for basically raising them, and Christine doesn't want to be with everybody at all, so she ultimately is the gatekeeper from the whole family being together, I have to say. I mean, what's going to happen there? Janelle worries about her boys and their mental health, and that they seem kind of sadder and not their regular selves. And Robin, now, this is irritating. She's pushing for Mary to share something or make something specifically clear. And Mary doesn't even want to do it. She knows how it's going to end. But yeah, she's kind of pushing Mary to humiliate herself on national TV. Like, is this necessary? And Mary says, "It does not mean I'm leaving the family or you." He actually says in a confessional, "Good for you, Mary. It has no effect on me." He tries to say, just move into the B&B for some reason and totally ignore the fact that she just said she's not leaving the family. You know, Mary cries in this scene, and Cody is very emotionless about this all. She says that she hoped he would care more. Christine is in town for Janelle's birthday too, and Maddie now told her that she's going somewhere with Cody for her birthday. Janelle says this does not mean that their relationship will make it. Christine just wants Janelle to be happy, but it kind of does sound like Maddie was not really happy that she's going on this date. And okay, so now we're back with Cody and Mary, and Cody's now bringing up that Mary could build something on Coyote Pass And I almost spit out my drink. Like, we're still talking about Coyote Pass. He then goes on about how he wants to build a barn for his cars with a loft and storage, and she could live in that loft. Mary is insulted. She doesn't want to be put in with the stuff he doesn't want to see anymore, like with the storage. I don't blame her. Wasn't she supposed to have a house there anyway? I mean, Mary makes good money. I don't understand why she needs to be in a loft. I thought he was going to say, stay with me and Robin when you're in Flagstaff, but he was only saying, stay in an RV, stay in a loft. Please, Mary's a businesswoman and deserves more than that. I mean, don't go for that, Mary. Cody's actually making an effort with Janelle, though. He made reservations at the best restaurant in Arizona, and it's a secret. Cody has no idea why they can't reconcile. He doesn't realize that this would require an effort with their kids. I don't know why Cody doesn't understand that. And Janelle looks great, makeup on point, and she just wants to have a good birthday. Although Janelle seems like a giddy schoolgirl that Cody booked the best restaurant in Arizona, they ended up turning the cameras off because Janelle felt a lot of pressure. And like, I understand that. And she said that at one point during the date, she held his hand and it didn't feel right, so she took it out. So, but for Cody, he at least made an effort to make Janelle feel special on her birthday. And that's more than he would probably ever do for Mary. So they're in very different situations, I think. But we kind of all know how this is going to end. I don't think, the birthday is going to work for Cody's favor. All right, guys. Thank you for watching my recap and reaction for Sister Wives Season 18, Episode 8, called Writing on the Wall. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and leave a like on this video. Thank you.
Are you going to try and do, are you guys going to?
I'm going to try, but if Robin's there, I don't give a...
So yeah, no one's talked to her in person.
No. The truths were revealed, and we all just said, cool, this is the point where we all go. We're done.
This is my recap and reaction to Sister Wives Season 18, Episode 9. In this episode, the gloves are off between Cody and his older kids, and they throw shade at each other like never before. It's kind of heartbreaking. There's groovy music and Flagstaff B-roll. Get ready because Christine is in town and she's cooking in Garrison's kitchen for like a special meal. The older kids are coming over to vent about the text exchange with Robin, and Garrison's going to be super vocal and vulnerable in this conversation. So Savannah says that she sees Brianna, Robin's daughter, at school, and they basically ignore each other in the hallway, just to show you how weird things are. Brianna is, I have to say, taking notes from the Robin textbook, because in her first confessional of the season, I think, she says she's shocked and confused about why they avoid each other. And she just starts to cry almost uncontrollably, like even more dramatically than Robin. Mary and Jen now, they're moving things out of the carriage house area. This is the area that's going to be renovated to fit all her LuLaRoe clothes, etc. So, and we also see that Jen is basically groping her own husband on national television as he assembles a shelf. I think Jen is acting weird because she's probably nervous on camera. It's the second episode of her, I feel, acting extra. Mary says that when there's a favorite wife, it doesn't work, and they've seen this before in polygamous families. Cody says that if there is a favorite wife, it has to do with loyalty. This is the same loyalty narrative that we've heard so many times. So, loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. Gabe and Gwen are moving in with Garrison soon, and Christine still thinks it's a terrible idea, but they're not there to talk about that today. Truly is with Cody, and she's sleeping over there, we learn. Christine felt like moving away was the best way to preserve the relationship between them. Cody thinks that's a bunch of BS rationalization. I mean, it's an interesting take for sure. I'm interested to see what you guys think about that. Robin outright blames Christine leaving on the damage in the relationship between Cody and his kids. Cody said that he reached out to Gabe and Garrison, but he's blocked. But honestly, the damage started to be done during the pandemic before Christine left. Anyone who watches the show knows the timeline. Gwendolyn arrives to Garrison's house, and Garrison says, "We've got pie." And then they have pie, and Christine is like, "Can I ask what happened on the text exchange?" Gwen says that Robin wanted to do a Zoom because Ariella was forgetting who they are, which is like some backhanded passive aggressiveness right there. Garrison says Robin made it all about herself, and she says, there's past trauma here. And Gwendolyn says, where's the trauma? Because Cody prefers them. Am I right? Like, the whole trauma narrative is another narrative that we just cannot get rid of here. And here comes the story we've heard a million times about how Robin says that when they were blending families, there was no support and they're traumatized. Brianna and Aurora say that they were hurt and confused and had heard that the other siblings were thinking of having a Christmas without them. But who told them that, and is that accurate? Because is this like Robin and Cody saying stuff that's not true to... I don't know. That's weird. Robin says, "I got attitude from the older kids and it felt defeating. We felt like we got voted off the island." She then told McKelty and Logan apparently to communicate with the other kids that they weren't going to participate in the gift exchange, and a line was drawn that day. Garrison says that she turned it into her victimizing herself when it was just about trying to do an exchange, and they say she was basically gaslighting everybody. Not surprised. Garrison says Robin is the catalyst of all this, turning herself into a victim. And Cody says, "All of you are jerks, and I don't want to call them, and I don't want to talk to them." Garrison says Robin's mad that she can't have this effect on them anymore. And he's like, "Have him, Robin. We're all grown adults." The fact that in this scene, Cody says he actually doesn't want to talk to them just breaks my heart. I don't know. That scene was just really toxic. Christine says that she wishes things were better, but she doesn't even know what to say. She says, "I may not be able to give them a dad, but I give them Janelle." Oh. And Cody says that Christine was a crap sister wife. Garrison says that the text thread was the point where they stopped caring. And Gwen is like, if we had a face-to-face with Robin, she would probably manipulate us and cry. Okay, so it's getting savage. There's a lot of I think they might be showing them these scenes in confessionals and they're just fighting back. And on that note, it's Avalon, McKelty's daughter's birthday. They just shoved that scene in there, and her party is at Robin's house. Cody just loves how McKelty is warm to them. Apparently Tony loves Robin. They're connected and they get each other. And I had no idea about this. And Robin says he's a good kid. And they start talking about how Robin saved McKelty from her siblings being mean to her or something like that. But again, we've heard this before. This is not a new fact. Christine's Flagstaff friends now are celebrating her anniversary with Cody. It would have been married since 1994, so almost roughly 30 years. These are moms that she had met through Isabel, and Christine says you have to find a new identity when you're divorced, and it's super important to find good people. Cody calls in the middle of the conversation, which is super weird because it's their anniversary and he obviously knows that. And she goes on for a little bit about how, she's a big fan of divorce. See, she says, basically, if you think you need to divorce, do it, She highly recommends it. And I think Christine feels liberated. It's almost like she was in a prison and now she's free. For her, definitely was a good experience to divorce. The nosiest friend at this dinner asked Janelle how she is hearing what Christine is saying. And Janelle says that it does not bother her. She doesn't care, and she doesn't feel much loyalty to Cody right now. And Janelle tells them that things are pretty okay with Cody. she just met them and she's just not the type to like spill the beans, so she's definitely holding back. And Christine says that her tipping point was that he wasn't being a good dad to her kids. Cody says in a scene that Christine basically forced herself in his life. And he does say something about how she's going to have bad karma or something. It's just terrible. It's so toxic what they're saying about each other. And it's just, oh God help us. Like, where are they going to go from here? It's bad. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed my recap and reaction to Sister Wives Season 18, Episode 9. Leave a like and a comment, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys. This is my recap and reaction to Sister Wives Season 18, Episode 10. The episode starts with some gentle music and the Coyote Pass woodlands. So Janelle says that she's having an Easter celebration with Christine, and we learned something kind of weird, that actually Cody had banned Easter for a long time because he thought it was too pagan. He insisted that they only celebrate Passover. So this is how it went for years and years and years. Mary was fine with giving up Easter, and so was Janelle. And when Robin came into the family, surprise, surprise, she wanted to actually go to her mom's house to celebrate Easter because the kids did celebrate it, and Cody didn't want her to leave. So Christine says that she had a lot of leverage and brought back Easter. So the Easter Bunny can thank Robin. She brought back Easter, and she also brought back earrings, remember? So Christine said maybe she had more leverage because Cody was in love with her. I don't know. I mean, Christine's dropping truth bombs this season. Christine's celebrating Easter from now on, mostly because Cody had said no. So from now on, Easter's on. Janelle is happy that today things are going to be easy. Cue in the iPhone footage from hell. It's vertical. It's not even landscape, people. Like, really, TLC, we've sunk to new lows. Aspen is there, which is awesome, and so is Gwen, but not Peyton. Cody says we can get most of our family back together, but at the moment, I have a life with Robin and her children, and I'm okay with that. He then goes on a tangent about Janelle and Christine wanting the kids all to themselves. But, I mean, nobody sees it like that. I see it more as Janelle and Christine are doing what they need to do while Cody is busy in his monogamous bliss relationship or whatever, and they're just compensating for him not being present. The kids do an Easter egg hunt with money inside the eggs, and then they sit and have a picnic in Christine's backyard. There's this weird scene with Robin looking outside the window in such a creepy way, like I can't. And Mary says that she did nothing for Easter. She says Robin and Cody didn't invite her over. She literally sat at home. So poor Mary, run, Mary, run. Janelle says she's not missing Cody, Mary, and Robin, and she feels peace now. So, and now we're at the B&B. Jen's back, Mary's BFF, and they cleaned out the carriage house. Jen is on the phone with the contractor for the project, and she tells Mary he wants to know if he can do her hole. This is 3 for 3 weird things that Jen did on the show. She has a streak now. Well, I mean, the show needs some comedic relief, honestly, so I'm kind of okay with it. They're making a clothing boutique. Mary says that the relationship she has with Jen, she has kind of had with other people in the past in the family. She says she did with Christine, and she also had something like that with Robin, but it was more serious. Cody says that he has an amiable, distant relationship with Mary. He says, I don't know what to do with a marriage that's eternal, but with no fire. And Robin thinks that if she sticks around long enough, things will work out. Like, Robin, it's been like 84 years. Like, it's not going to work out. I think everyone's like in denial that it's just over. It's over. Jen's husband apparently is helping Mary out a lot with husband things like washing her car and things like that. But she says, don't go weird. He and I have a very platonic relationship. So there you have it. She's not like in some other sister wives relationship with Jen. Confirmed. Cody doesn't think Mary has a fulfilling life in Flagstaff, and he wants her to leave, basically. And Mary needs to see these confessionals, honestly, because he's not, I guess, to this point, he's not being direct enough. Maybe, like, she really needs to hear that he wants her to leave. He is pruning, actually, doing stuff with trees, and says how there's no flicker, no flame with Mary. He's happily married to the love of his life and has all of these other situations, basically making it seem like the others are problems or something to get rid of. Cody says that Janelle doesn't want to reconcile. They talk on the phone once in a while, that the only way he sees reconciliation with Janelle is if she gets away from Christine, because he kind of makes it seem like Christine is like a bad influence on Janelle. Like she's like, you know, a friend that's like leading her down the wrong path or something like that. Christine got a rental in Flagstaff and is doing another Easter here for Gabriel and Garrison, basically, because they weren't able to come to Utah. Cody says that he was trying to make the boys more accountable, whatever that means. Like, what is he talking about? Garrison says that he proposed that Cody come to his house as like a neutral ground, but Cody said no and wanted them to come to him, but that's Robin's house, so it's more complicated. So Garrison won't go there. It's a whole thing, but yeah, it's like a war. Cody says Christine is not loyal, but Robin is. And Janelle tells Christine she had fun on the birthday date with Cody, but it felt like being with a friend. And then he dropped her off and he went home. And she didn't hear from him in 2 weeks. And Christine is shocked. She says, he drove off to Robin's house? Janelle feels like Christine is thinking, poor you, poor you. And she doesn't like that vibe. She kind of wants Christine to know that, yeah, she's really done, but Christine's not really buying it yet. They may want to do a family reunion with Mary and Robin. And Mary says, yeah, I think I would be up for that, just to get the kids together. Robin is like, it's asking for trouble and fights. Cody says that he doesn't want one with Christine at this point. So in this context, it's really Robin and Cody not wanting the family together, which is weird because when they talk, it's like that's the ultimate goal, to have the family together, but they're not willing to have the family together. It's very confusing. They're contradicting themselves, really. Robin says that Aurora's talking to a boy like she's 12 or something, but she's 20. And Aurora kind of like blushes and says they're talking. Mary's like, is all you do with him talk? And they laugh, and we learn that he's a college boy. He's from out of state, but moved down for college. And Robin says that he feels like he's a nice kid. Mary says, I was married at your age. She says that she was married just after she was 19. She was a baby. And Mary used to say that she regretted not taking more time to get to know who she was, because really, 19, that's insane. Mary tells Robin that she signed a contract with the house where she's at to stay longer, and Robin is stressed out that she's just trying to trust what Mary's saying. She wants to believe that Mary's going to stay for the long haul or whatever, but Cody says Mary has little involvement with them and the kids. I think she should move on. Like, this is the second time he's kind of said it. Robin says, I'm glad I came and it was good to catch up. And Mary says that any family experiences I have, I will take. Mary's out here just trying so hard, cherishing the moments she gets with the family. And they're basically giving her breadcrumbs at this point. Like, they didn't even invite her over for Easter, and they knew she was probably alone. Like, what is that? In the last year, Janelle says, I need something different. It just doesn't fit the parameter anymore. She wants to do something different. Janelle's like, it's very amiable with Cody. Christine says, well, I saw the fight. That's not that amiable. In her confessional, she didn't call her out in person. What is up with Cody and Janelle using the word amiable so much for everything? Amiable. Everything's amiable. Janelle says, we've been friends with benefits for years, and now I want something more. Friends with benefits with 6 kids. Imagine. Friends with benefits. That's how she's describing her relationship with Cody at this point. But I don't even know if there's benefits right now. Right? Like, is there benefits? I mean, can we ask a follow-up question? Christine says that Robin has everything she wanted in a husband. And she's like, can't believe she just said that. Janelle says she can't be married until she's released by the church, but she's not involved with the church, so she can't really go through and ask to be released. So she's kind of caught in whatever. Christine and Janelle still don't have great communication. Like, as they're talking, I feel like they're like walking on eggshells, probably because cameras are there or something. I mean, this is national television, but I just feel like they're not communicating like exactly like girlfriends. Like, they're not being super, I don't know. But Christine says that they'll just continue to give her scraps. So here we are. Yes, like Janelle and Mary are kind of getting scraps right now. It is sad to watch.
He actually said to me, I have no desire, Mary, to have a relationship with you.
This is my recap and reaction to Sister Wives Season 18, Episode 11, called Airing the Dirty Laundry. The episode starts with Mackelty blurting out to Isabel that she's pregnant. Everybody else knew, but it was a surprise for her. And then she pulls out a second surprise, the sonogram, and it's twins, and everyone's happy. Christine says, I already love them. And Peyton is like, Mom, you can hold one while Mackelty holds one, which is a very Peyton thing to say, and I thought it was cute. Here are the boys today at a pumpkin patch, 2 little cute boys, Archer and Ace. Christine says that in the sonogram they look mushed and she's gonna get huge. Mackelty says that during the ultrasound when they told her it was twins, she was like, okay, cool. And then she came home to tell Tony, there's 2 blobs, there's 2 blobs. There are no twins in their immediate family or in their family that they know of, so they don't really know where twins really came from. And Christine says that Tony looks like shocked. Tony says he has no idea how this happened and that they both better be mine. So how did we get 2 of them? I think Tony needs a crash course on the biology side of it. Just because you have 2 doesn't mean one could be someone else's. So now we're at Lizzie's Heritage Inn. Mary is talking about her disaster of an anniversary with Cody. As expected, this did not go well. She says that she didn't know what to expect. He actually didn't call her, but she decided to call him because Mary was obviously in her desperate phase at this point. She said, happy anniversary, and then she asked to go to dinner, and he said, I'm watching the kids. Let me check with Robin. I mean, at that point, I would have just hung up and left it at that, but Mary waited for him to call back, and Cody says he needed a reason to say no in case he decided he didn't want to do it. So, how sweet. So he'd called her back and said, let's go to dinner. He picked her up. At one point, he made a reference about faking their relationship. He kind of gestured this, meaning we're faking. He said, I don't know why you called me to say happy anniversary, Mary. We're not He almost said we're not married. I mean, why did he hesitate? Why is saying we're not married is worse than saying we're not living as a married couple? It means the same thing, right? This was the big Mary aha moment. She realized at that point, yeah, we're probably really done. Cody says that after 25 years, they were in a terrible place and counseling was not working, but through counseling, he was convinced he should try to fix it. And it took a long time for him to realize that it's just not going to get fixed, and he had to give up. This is so sad. So he gave up a while ago, and I guess he didn't make it obvious or super in Mary's face enough, I guess, for her to clue in. According to Mary, he had told her, "Your life is not one I want to insert myself into," which is really rude to say, and this really hurt her. Her heart was beating fast, she says, because he had promised her. He married her, and this was supposed to be an eternal love covenant, So she, remember how Cody emphasizes loyalty all the time? Remember when he got her a necklace that said something like Fidelis on it because she's so loyal? Well, Cody says he values loyalty, but looks like that's a crock of crap, because when Mary got married to Cody, she, do or die, was going to make this eternal covenant happen. And now more twins talk with Christine. McKelty says that midwives will not deliver her babies because it's high risk now. It's twins, so no home birth. And Tony was not down with the home birth anyway, so he's probably really happy about that. Actually, McKelty's birth was traumatic to watch. I don't know if, anyways, chime in the comments if you can relate to this. It was a little extreme for national television. Tony thought the last birth was scary, and I thought it was too. She chose the doctor that delivered Truly. His name is Mr. Bean, of all things, and they literally replay so many births in this scene. Truly's birth, Madison's births, Robin's births. Christine says that she's a fan of home births, and that polygamists mostly had home births because the hospital could have found out that they were polygamists and had their kids taken away. Christine was always very paranoid, probably from the way she was raised, about people discovering they were polygamous. But Janelle says that she never really cared about that, and I think she probably did go to the hospital. So personal decision for sure, but there's a whole birth segment in this episode. Isabel and Truly are at Cody and Robin's house, which is kind of shocking because, we don't really see them there all that much. And Cody is grilling some food. They're having a birthday party for Truly, who turned 12. And Robin is like, the year before they become a teenager. It's scary. And she makes this face like, Truly's 12. Oh, like, I don't know. I did not like, I don't understand why she made this face. Truly doesn't have any memories without me, Robin says, and my kids. And that's kind of cool. It's sweet. Yeah. And she almost cries. Cody is worried about the nuance or undertone of strain in the family. He says that Isabel seems uncomfortable a lot of the time. He says, and Isabel explains that, it's a rocky relationship between her and Cody, and it's never been solid. And to be fair, the whole surgery thing probably really hurt her, and that didn't seem to get resolved between them. They show the cringe scene where the family recited their family mission statement in Vegas, which they took an entire season to write, by the way, and then they declared it. It was kind of like they recited it like a prayer almost. And Cody says, it's shredded now. What has happened to this family? The director then asks him if he heard from Maddie at all. He says that during the breakup with Christine, Maddie stopped reaching out to him. Maddie doesn't call him, apparently because of his behavior. Apparently she doesn't feel like she knows who this guy is anymore. I feel like totally fair. There's a lot of things at play, and Janelle says she's protecting her kids too, because she has small kids that she doesn't want to expose to toxic, probably. But this is weird because Maddie always seemed to be one of Cody's favorites for a long time, and let's not forget his bromance with Caleb, Maddie's husband. So Robin says, my kids miss their siblings. There's a weird wall that I cannot penetrate. And now Janelle and Gabriel are building garden boxes at Garrison's house. This is Janelle's happy place, and it's so sweet that the boys are doing this for her. Janelle and Cody haven't talked since her birthday, and at this point it's probably it's past Easter, so it's been a while. And we learned that Gwen isn't moving in with Garrison in the end, probably a good thing. And Cody says that his responsibility after the kids graduate from high school, I guess, shifts to become a relationship of mutual respect. What a crock of BS. Because let's rewind the tape back to when Logan graduated high school. He sure did not do that. He did not want to leave. He didn't want Logan to leave at all for university or leave the house. He wanted him to go to UNLV and keep staying at the house. He was trying to lure him with an office in Janelle's house. So I don't know if anyone remembers that, but I don't know what changed, but this has not always been the case. Janelle says her and Robin were team players for the sake of the family, but they didn't have the same interests. They were 10 years apart and never friends. And Janelle just loves gardening so much. They keep saying it, and she keeps talking about it. She says something about living things brings the stress down. And, you know, that's good. I mean, she knows what she likes. She says that she wants to have a garden on Coyote Pass. Oh my God. Excuse me? Excuse you? She wants to actually have her garden on Coyote Pass. Cody says that Janelle keeps asking about the property, but not really helping to pay it off. And Robin and Cody say they intend on building there. So why the heck is Janelle still wanting to be there? Is she going to garden there and look over there at Robin and Cody's romantic energy or whatever Cody says they have? How awful. Like, I don't recommend that at all. And now it's all hands on deck to teach Truly how to ride a bike. Peyton is trying. She had an attempt with Cody years ago that did not go well, and recently Christine convinced her to learn how to ride a bike again, and here we are. She's like, it'll probably take like 5 days to learn. And Aspen and Peyton are there cheering her on. Mitch steps up and really tries his best, but I mean, he's like, Truly needs less voices. She just needs to do it. And this is, I think, the only thing Mitch has said this season so far. Mary says that early in our marriage between her and Cody, she had doubts about Cody always wanting her forever, but he always reassured her and said, "You are my person." And she thought that meant something. And he told her, apparently at another time, I don't know when he said this, but she says that he said he never loved her. But that's a bunch of BS. Mary says, ask anyone who knew us in the early days. We were married in an eternal covenant. And based on this, Mary told Cody that she wanted to go public with what was happening because everyone was confused and she just wanted to come out with it and be honest. And he was like, oh no, I get so much criticism. I want to keep it between us. So he wanted to have like a secret breakup, or who wants to keep their relationship status a secret? That's just sounds annoying. So she says, happy anniversary to me. Weird. She doesn't know what to do about it, and I think she's going to figure it out soon. At least she's not still considering Coyote Pass like Janelle. I mean, let's hope. Can we just let the Coyote Pass thing just die at this point? Honestly, if they go on the property to have a sit down or to measure land again this season, I'm going to pass out or something. I just can't deal with that. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed my recap and reaction to Sister Wives Season 18, Episode 11, Airing the Dirty Laundry. Talk to you guys soon. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Bye, guys. This is my recap and reaction to Sister Wives Season 18, Episode 12. In this episode, Christine throws a party. Janelle and Cody get awkward in her new apartment, and Mary turns her life into a tree metaphor. Oh, and Janelle uses the term poop in a group, and no one knows what that means, like at all. I've looked it up. I mean, what does that mean? First, Christine is having a 50s birthday party for her 50th birthday. There is a food truck. So many kids showed up to celebrate. We see Aspen, Peyton, Garrison, Gabriel, Savannah, McKelty, Isabel. Truly, Christine loves being single and admits to dating, but for quote-unquote fun. Janelle supports Christine dating. She knows that Christine has been looking for a good partner for so long, and Cody just wasn't fulfilling that at all. I mean, at all. No, hold the phone, because we learned that McKelty told Robin and Cody first about the fact that she was pregnant with twins because she needed help, apparently, whatever that means. I think we all collectively cringed inside at the screen when she said that. Telling Robin before your mom, McKelty, really? Robin says that she's happy or honored that she told her first and tries to act like it's no big deal. And Christine is taking it like a champ. She doesn't seem that bitter about it. She says she understands and says this is McKelty's life. But it's weird. It's really weird. And then there's a segment on the show where they all kind of wonder what would have happened if they did move back to Utah. Where would they be today? And Cody doesn't think that it would have made a difference. Robin says sometimes she thinks maybe if they would have built faster on the land or moved to Utah, maybe things would have been different. But Janelle says Cody's preference for Robin would have still been there, and so it would have been the same outcome. McKelty tells Janelle about the twins, and Janelle cries, and she doesn't cry a lot. It's Janelle. And she says, maybe now I need a house here or something. It's a sweet moment, and overall it's a cute party. Christine is beaming, and Christine wished for a romantic relationship when she blew out her candles, and it actually happened. So there's that. And Robin's bitter Betty, she wasn't invited, but I mean, come on. It's totally warranted why she wouldn't be invited here. So I don't know what she's even talking about. Janelle says this was the easiest party to go to. No politics, no waiting for people to arrive. And I'm wondering, who's she talking about? Is Robin always late or something to parties? Who is the late person? I feel like I want to know. Next, Mary is in Parowan, and Mary's friend Blair is an interior designer, and he's going to design the carriage house where her clothing business is going to live. Blair says that Mary has a heart of gold, and Mary has known him for about 5 years. They met online of all places. You'd think that Mary would have stopped meeting friends online. She says, you have to be very careful with people you meet online. And she talks a little bit about her catfishing incident, but didn't go too much into detail there. And she says people in the family have their own opinions, but what happened to her is her truth. So seems like water under the bridge, but that was like a really big thing. Mary wants to have the option of bringing people into the carriage house like it's a store to try things on. She also wants an industrial vibe. Cody's visiting Janelle's new super nice apartment with the nice kitchen. Cody says that he's asked Janelle to reconcile, and she just said, not really. He thinks it's possible that he's excited for her not to want to reconcile, but he's not sure or doesn't want to say it on camera. Cody, however, did start to step up for Savannah. He says their relationship is sweet. And Janelle's like, when he walks through the door, her reaction is like, ugh, oh, he's here, better get up. She tells him this is probably the best place she's had in Flagstaff so far, and it looks really good. Cody then goes on a tangent about how his wives were always like, pick me, do something for me. He said it doesn't feel like he'll be living here with her, and there's no room for him. And he says he doesn't even know why she's showing me this, except, oh yeah, our daughter lives here. So we learn that Janelle's new apartment is now bigger than the plans she has for her house on Coyote Pass, which they call a casita. It's like a garage with like a little apartment on top. They talk about how Cody thinks the casita should be bigger, but like, who else is shocked that she even wants to build anything on Coyote Pass? I mean, me, what? She's still building on Coyote Pass? She says that this will be her estate and that she has to show for something for all these years, but she has no idea if Cody will build, and she says there's a thing called a high fence that we can put in between. Imagine Cody and Robin's house and Janelle's house with a huge fence in between. Like, what a sad sight, honestly. And in the apartment, the whole situation is just awkward, and they quickly run out of things to talk about. They just say like, "That's cool. That's really cool." He talks about how the countertops look different, and Cody's like, "I'm not even welcomed here, I think." Janelle's like, "You know what? This apartment's dog friendly." I mean, I thought for sure they were going to switch to talking about the weather at one point. It was so painful. Cody says, "I have a whole life outside of Janelle and Savannah, but I don't talk about that with them." Janelle says it went better than expected. No fireworks. They were all friendly. And Cody's still confused, like, why can't we reconcile? And he blames the fact that Janelle wants nothing to do with Robin and Mary. But there is no declaration of love, no real attempt. I mean, he's trying just as hard with Janelle as with Garrison and Gabriel. And that's not much, honestly. They can't even find topics to talk about for a couple minutes. I mean, code red over here. But Cody still says next week, "I'm going to ask her to reconcile again, and maybe I'll get more serious." Okay, so Mary is still trying to figure things out with Cody. She still kind of seems confused or something. She knows there's no hope at this point. And she's in Parowan getting trees out of her yard that are threatening the house probably. And yes, the rest of the episode is partly Mary's confessional talking about something we've heard before, and then trees getting cut and put into like a cutting machine. Yes, really. And I thought I was losing my mind, but at the end of the episode, she recounts the story of their anniversary where he basically confirmed that he wants nothing to do with her. But she said it in a slightly different way. Why are they replaying this? What is happening? I thought I was losing it. Literally the same exact story. Do they not edit? Like, they probably thought to themselves, we're repeating this in 2 different episodes. Like, I don't know. It's so weird. She says that she wants to move forward and said, "Why don't we just be curious about each other?" Like, Mary will not stop. When was this confessional filmed? Honestly, why does she still want to be curious about anything? She knows what's going on. He said he didn't want to be curious. Anyways, there's no curiosity here. Let's move on from here. She's sad because she remembers the couples that they were. And Janelle and Christine validate this. And they do say that Mary and Cody were like an it couple. That's why Christine wanted to be in the family so bad. They were solid. She says that, now screw him. He's not worth it. And she says that with the trees gone, it's not as bad as she feared. And this, I guess, is a metaphor. Maybe without Cody, things won't be as she feared either. Like, that's kind of like how I interpreted that. But either way, I've been seeing it on Twitter, basically, like how people thought this episode was boring. They're bored to tears. I think this might be like, I don't know, like new viewers or something like that, because Sister Wives has always been like slightly mundane and boring, but it's kind of the beauty of it. Like, it's not like Real Housewives where they, it's like super action packed and stuff. And I actually don't mind it. The repeating of stories, though, like, whoa, I draw the line. And like, maybe the thing with the trees was too much this episode, but either way, this was Sister Wives season 18, episode 12. The title was, something about trees. But anyways, I'll be back next week with a new recap. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye, guys. This is my recap and reaction to Sister Wives season 18, episode 13. The episode is called The Elephant in the Room. And the episode starts in Lehi, Utah, and it's the most awkward gender reveal ever. Everyone is on a video chat. Cody and Robin are also on the call. And Christine doesn't care, but there's a lot of unresolved family drama on this call. And Mary's not there at all. She didn't even make it on there. She's not on the invite list. Aspen is running late. So they're all just waiting awkwardly on the video calls, smiling at each other. Cody is nervous because he says he hasn't had a positive experience with a lot of his children. and acts like it's not his fault. Anyways, Robin is hoping that her and Cody's smiles will help the family members see that they're not the bad guy. So, I mean, it's going to take a bit more than a smile here. That comment is just so hilarious. Aurora, in her confessional, says that she wants to speak up and defend her mom because she's trying to bridge the relationship with the kids. Brianna and Aurora, how can I say this? I don't mean to be a mean girl, but they're acting a little strange and look so nervous in this confessional. They almost seem like robots defending Robin. There, I said it. Don't hate me. Tony says, look, there's still something there if they all want to be together for family events. Yeah, but it's more like a family obligation for certain things, and some family members even miss those, like Gwendolyn, for example. And McKelty blasts herself with blue smokes. It's 2 boys. We all know this, though. They're like, I think they're 1 now. So, but everyone's excited. Cody says, I see a bad moon rising. And it's the worst joke ever. He obviously just means like 2 boys. Watch out. So Hunter awkwardly laughs at this joke. It's the worst joke ever. I don't even know what that even means, but Cody says he's in a state of anxiety about the contempt he gets from his family. McKelty, meanwhile, is kind of in La La Land and thinks that the family still needs each other, and she thinks there's hope for a full reconciliation. I don't know between who she's even talking about because there's so many different situations, but if she means as a whole, I mean, she has her own rift with Mary, so does she mean even that rift should be fixed? Like, I don't know if a full reconciliation between all the family drama is possible. Janelle says that Cody doesn't have contact with many of the people in the virtual boxes, and Christine says that she's ready to be cordial, but that's all. So the civil war lives on. Cody says that Robin and I are always going to be like this close, and that's the relationship we're going to be in. I'm not sure why he felt the need to say that. Like, we know it all starts and ends with Robin. Mary is in Parowan, still doing stuff in the carriage house for the remodel. She's checking it out, and she's still mulling over her non-existent relationship with Cody. They also replayed so many scenes we've seen before, including the one where I guess Cody tells her on her anniversary he wants nothing to do with her. Mary says that God was involved in their wedding and that they were supposed to be together for eternity. She says, what should I do? What now? I'm just not feeling the carriage house storyline, just saying. I think it deserved 1 episode, not like 4. Isabel now is going back to North Carolina to live with Maddie, and Mitch and Aspen are hosting like a surf and turf dinner to cap off her summer. Isabel gets grilled about where she wants to settle, and she says that she wants to settle in Utah because there's more family there than in North Carolina, which makes sense, and I think she did end up moving back, and word on the street is that she has a boyfriend. Christine tells the story of her and Cody and how they kissed after their wedding, and Tony gives somewhat cringy advice about maybe Christine should say she's Tina on dating apps until she knows them better. She seems to be really excited about dating, which is a total opposite of Janelle, who said later in the episode that dating apps are a hard no right now. McKelty says that Christine needs to get acquainted with her body, and Truly's right there. I mean, what are we talking about here? Janelle and Christine go on a road trip to Idaho to drive ATVs and be with Christine's brothers. One of her brothers is from her mom, and one of the other brothers is from another mom. And we get a glimpse of, you know, what they talked about on the car ride. Christine says that Robin said something about how the church, you know, you need approval for divorce. And Christine asked Janelle, am I the only adult that's not in the church? Janelle also told Christine that Cody hasn't been to her house for 10 months. And Cody also says 10 months. It's like this is a verified fact or something. So I think we're now in fall 2022. We've gone very quickly from Easter to fall. So we're moving forward. Cody hangs out with his friends on Coyote Pass. Apparently, he had sold his friend. You remember when he was an officiant at this friend's wedding well, that friend actually owns a car lot, and he came over to Coyote Pass so that he can try to bring the white sports car in like a loading truck or something. And the white sports car is iconic. This is where Cody actually filmed his first scene, and just so many scenes with this car. Honestly, it's like it's basically a Sister Wives Hall of Fame item. But alas, after a long scene about Cody driving his car in a trailer, they didn't measure properly and they needed 3 more inches to close the door. So the door will not close, and this is an epic fail. Cody uses this as a metaphor that he tried to fit square pegs into round holes during polygamy instead of asking himself, is this going to work? The car didn't fit. The wives didn't fit. It's a metaphor now. It's a whole thing. But yeah, kind of embarrassing. Janelle says, I don't know if I'm divorced or separated. And Cody blames Janelle and thinks maybe they're giving up too easy. I mean, they are giving up pretty easy, I would say. Janelle is not like Christine in one aspect. She's not into dating. She reiterates that she hates dating apps. She's not going to swipe right. She's, not pining for dating like Christine seems to be. They are totally not in the same space here. And Janelle says that she was friends with Mary's family before she even met Cody, and totally brushes over the fact that she was actually married to her brother. And I feel like this is very glossed over. Cody admits he used to talk to her and flirt with her a lot. So Janelle then starts to talk about when Robin came in to the family, some of the traditions just stopped. Like they used to do a Friday dinner. And Christine says that Cody is happy to be Robin's husband and that he found his soulmate, which is sad to think about in a way because then they just get shunned to the side. Christine and Janelle seem to agree that after Robin, Cody tried for a long time to keep things even, but it was just, he couldn't help it. He just wanted to be with her more. And Janelle says that the people she would miss the most in the family are always Christine and her kids. It's the only part of the polygamous family that's worked. There's still a family unit, and that's very obvious for sure. Christine and Janelle are finally in Idaho, and Christine's brothers, who actually kind of look like Hayden and Hunter, and I just see a lot of the Browns in them. Like there's a big resemblance. Janelle is having fun, thriving on her ATV, and their house is actually very beautiful. Janelle thinks that her brothers are not pro-polygamy, so she thinks she's going to get grilled, but they definitely did not grill her. Her brothers do talk about how when they were little, they definitely noticed tension between the parents, and Christine has no recollection. She was just oblivious growing up to all that tension, and she just wanted to be a third wife. At 17, she had all these fantasies about polygamy, and apparently Janelle, Christine, and Mary used to live with Cody in a trailer with paper-thin walls. So basically, I think they're kind of alluding to the fact that they could hear what was going on in the different bedrooms, if you catch my drift. And that's just wrong. Janelle basically says that she wishes plural wives could get a legal marriage because then upon divorce, the husband would have to pay alimony. But the way it's set up, the husband can just ghost a wife, and Janelle is just feeling horrible about not having assets like Christine does. And Christine says she thinks it's part of the reason why she's still with Cody, because nothing's in her name except for land in Coyote Pass, but it's mixed in with other names, so I mean, to sell land or things like that, there would have to be an agreement between everybody, which would be almost probably impossible to get, I think. I don't know. I guess she could sell her portion to Robin and Cody, But I mean, all the best to Janelle. It does kind of, it's painful that she doesn't have like a house or an asset like that. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening the whole way through to my recap and reaction to Sister Wives Season 18, Episode 13. And I'll be back with more Sister Wives content. Bye, guys.